Even as he approaches a century of life, Dick Van Dyke continues to surprise people with his energy, resilience, and outlook. In recent years, he has faced moments that could have easily ended his story: a car fire, dangerous wildfires, and serious health scares. Yet each time, he emerged with a renewed sense of gratitude. What stands out most is not just survival, but how he continues to live. At an age when many slow down, he keeps moving, creating, and engaging with life. His story is no longer just about fame or success. It has become about endurance and perspective. He often speaks about appreciating simple moments, movement, laughter, and connection. These experiences have shaped his philosophy in later years. Rather than focusing on fear or limitations, he focuses on what he can still do. That mindset, more than anything, has allowed him to keep going when others might have stopped long ago. A shy beginning that shaped everything. Long before he became a global star, Dick Van Dyke was a shy young man who struggled to connect with people. Social situations made him uncomfortable, and he often found it difficult to express himself. For a time, he relied on small habits to ease that tension, simply trying to feel more at ease in conversations. But over time, he learned that confidence didn't have to come from outside sources. It could be built through experience and self-awareness. Acting became that outlet. On stage, he found a version of himself that felt free and expressive. That transformation was not instant. It took years of effort and self-reflection. His openness about these early struggles later helped others feel less alone. People wrote to him, sharing their own journeys and how his honesty encouraged them to seek help or make changes. For him, that impact became one of the most meaningful parts of his life, far beyond awards or recognition. Small-town roots and lasting values. Born in 1925 in a quiet town in Missouri, Dick Van Dyke grew up in modest surroundings that shaped his outlook forever. His family didn't have much, and life was simple, sometimes challenging. His father worked long hours, and his mother balanced responsibilities with care and discipline. These early experiences taught him the value of hard work and humility. Even after achieving worldwide fame, those lessons stayed with him. He often spoke about how growing up in a small community gave him a sense of grounding. There was no glamour, no shortcuts, just steady effort and resilience. When his family later moved to Illinois, his world expanded slightly, but those core values remained. They became the foundation of his personality, influencing how he approached both success and failure. In many ways, his charm and relatability can be traced back to those early years, where simplicity and sincerity were part of everyday life. Finding direction through unexpected limits. As a teenager, Dick Van Dyke faced a challenge that seemed discouraging at first. Doctors advised him to avoid physical activities due to a health concern, limiting his participation in sports. For a young person, this could have been a major setback. However, it pushed him towards something else: drama and performance. What initially felt like a restriction became an opportunity. Joining school plays opened a new world for him, one where he could express himself without fear. The applause he received after his first performance left a lasting impression. It was a moment of clarity, showing him a path he had never considered before. This shift highlights how unexpected obstacles can sometimes lead to meaningful discoveries. Instead of focusing on what he couldn't do, he embraced what he could, turning a limitation into a lifelong passion. A different kind of service. During World War II, Dick Van Dyke was determined to serve his country, even when he faced initial challenges meeting requirements. Once accepted, his journey took an unexpected turn. Instead of combat, he was assigned to entertainment roles, performing for troops and supporting morale. This experience became a crucial part of his development. He learned how to connect with audiences in diverse settings, often improvising and adapting to different situations. These performances were not glamorous, but they were meaningful. They taught him confidence, timing, and resilience, skills that would later define his career. Sometimes the most important lessons come from places we don't expect, and for him, this period was one of growth and discovery. Building a career step by step. After the war, Dick Van Dyke returned home and began working in radio. It was a modest start, far from the bright lights of Hollywood. He hosted programs, told jokes, and slowly built a connection with listeners. There were setbacks along the way, including business ventures that didn't succeed. But each experience added to his understanding of the industry. Instead of giving up, he kept moving forward, trying new opportunities and refining his craft. These early years were not about instant success, they were about persistence. Every small role, every performance, brought him one step closer to his goals. It's a reminder that careers are rarely built overnight. They are shaped by consistent effort and the willingness to learn from both successes and failures. The power of reinvention. Throughout his life, Dick Van Dyke has shown an ability to adapt and evolve. Whether transitioning from stage to television or exploring new roles later in life, he never allowed himself to be defined by a single image. This willingness to change kept his career fresh and engaging. It also reflected his personal growth. He understood that staying relevant required openness to new ideas and experiences. Even in his later years, he continued to take on projects that challenged expectations, proving that creativity doesn't fade with age. Instead, it grows stronger when nurtured. Overcoming personal struggles. Like many people, Dick Van Dyke faced periods of personal difficulty. He has spoken openly about challenges he encountered earlier in life and how they affected him. What makes his story powerful is not the struggle itself, but how he addressed it. Seeking help, making changes, and committing to a healthier path were not easy decisions, especially at a time when such conversations were less common. His willingness to be honest about these experiences later inspired others to take similar steps. It turned a personal challenge into something meaningful for many people who looked up to him. Staying active at any age. One of the most remarkable aspects of Dick Van Dyke's life is his commitment to staying active. Even in his late 90s, he follows a regular routine that includes exercise, stretching, and movement. He believes that staying physically active plays a key role in maintaining both health and happiness. This approach is not about intensity, but consistency. By keeping his body moving, he has managed to retain energy and flexibility that surprise even those around him. It's a simple yet powerful lesson about the importance of caring for oneself over time. Moments that could have changed everything. In recent years, Dick Van Dyke has faced situations that could have ended very differently. Incidents like a car fire and natural disasters tested his resilience. Each time, help arrived at the right moment and he was able to recover. These experiences reinforced his appreciation for life and the people around him. They also highlighted how unpredictable life can be. Instead of dwelling on fear, he chose to focus on gratitude, seeing each moment as a gift. A legacy that goes beyond fame. The impact of Dick Van Dyke extends far beyond his performances. His openness, resilience, and positive outlook have inspired countless people. He is not just remembered for his roles, but for the way he lived his life. By sharing his experiences, he has encouraged others to face their own challenges with honesty and courage. His legacy is one of connection, reminding us that even those in the spotlight face struggles, and that overcoming them can create a lasting impact. Looking ahead to 100. As he approaches his 100th birthday, Dick Van Dyke continues to look forward rather than back. He remains curious, engaged, and motivated to keep creating. Plans for future projects and personal goals show that age has not diminished his enthusiasm. Instead, it has given him a deeper appreciation for time and opportunity. His story serves as a powerful reminder that life does not have to slow down with age. It can continue to evolve, bringing new experiences and meaning at every stage.